At this moment, we want to say you're listening to Honor 103.5 FM. Again, we say thank you so much for joining our live broadcast this Wednesday morning. It's the midweek edition of the program you love to listen to, and of course, you really would not like to miss any edition of this show. It is the front burner you're listening to on a Wednesday morning. And of course, if you're tuned in for the very first time, it's a show wherein that you get to listen and get to know the issues that we need to look into as far as our dear country is concerned. And I must quickly say this in case you're tuned in for the first time. On the show, the front burner, what we strictly do on this show is to bring you issues, or should I say, we should like to inform you on things that are happening as far as your government is concerned, the federal and state and local government levels. That's what we do. And we'll bring you as transparent as we can. That's how we'll bring it to you. We definitely would have done our homework, and then we'd now bring it to you to listen to, and then let's see how you will take it. Probably you might ever be in support of any of the topics we bring to your table. That's the front burner. And then you'll be the one to tell us the way you want to take it. I don't ever get to do this program alone. I have lots of analysts that try to assist me to see how we can actually dissect the issues we bring to the table. As I await my analysis this morning, I've got to definitely let you understand that there's a lot that's happened between last week, Saturday. That was the last time we did the front burner, last week, Saturday. But then this is the fresh episode of the show for this week. My name is Lekon Omoshebi. I sincerely say thank you very much for being on the other side of radio. And you need to actually get to do us a favor. Even if you're getting to listen to us on your transistor radio, or practically you're listening to us in your car, or anywhere else on any of the devices with you, you can actually make it better by going to social media. And then you can get to watch this program and get to comment, like, and share on Facebook, YouTube. You can get to do that as well. And of course, let me quickly try to let you understand that once you are on Facebook or YouTube, you definitely are an analyst on the show. Automatically, you have the right to call, you have the right to comment, and you also have the right to let people know that definitely we must hear your side of the story. Because we in the studios can do whatever and say whatever we want to say or do from our angle. But you can see the topic from another angle, which makes you an analyst on this show immediately. So whatever we discuss on this show this morning, we implore that you are our analyst from wherever you are. At work, at home, or in your car. Just pick up your phone. You can comment on Facebook. You can comment on YouTube. You can just call the studio line and say, no. What you guys are talking about, from my own angle, this is the way I see it. Once again, I say good morning. Like I said, I've never been on this show alone. I'm expecting my analysts. And of course, one of my analysts just joined me now. I'm expecting two more. But remember, you are an analyst on the show. This is the front burner. We're about to start now. All right, this time I want to say good morning again. Thank you very much. We're starting the front burner officially at this time. My name is Lekon Moshebi. I'll be working with Engineer K this morning. He's the one in charge of audio, so anything you get to listen to as crispy, clear, and loud is the duty of Engineer K. We have a lot to talk about. And then I have a lot to talk about that has to do with my profession from the federal government. But then let's go to Abuja. But before we go there, like I told you, an analyst has joined me already. I'm expecting the other one, and so that you are the third analyst on the show. But for now, if you're listening to this show, you are the second analyst. But I have one with me in the studio expecting the other one. Good morning, Mr. Ofino.
Good morning to you, Mr. Lekan Omo Shebi. I am delighted to be part and parcel of today's breakfast conversation. And I greet everyone listening to this program all around the world.
You know, Ofino, I'm surprised now because I've really understood the fact that you are, should I say, number one best analyst on this show. I must give it to you. I'm sure the other analysts will not argue with me. But the truth is this. I can see that you actually do a lot with the station. I appreciate you for that. Immaculate TV. A lot of people don't know that Honor FM is actually the sister station to Immaculate TV. A lot of people don't know that. So in case they see you on Immaculate, they should know that, look, Honor FM is a sister station to Immaculate. Immaculate is a sister station to Honor. We're in the same building. We're owned by the same company. All right? I want to say thank you so much for doing a lot for Honor and, of course, for Immaculate TV.
I'm grateful for giving me the opportunity.
I don't think I've ever said thank you, right?
I'm very grateful for
don't worry. After the program, don't worry. After the program, you started with breakfast. I'll take you for breakfast. How does that sound?
I'm so delighted about it.
All right.
You have been doing it in the past. I know you definitely do it today.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you too. Now, let's go straight to business. If you're listening to the show, again, we have implored you to make sure your dial is locked to 103.5 because I'm sure you would definitely pick up your phone to tell us your own side of the story. President Tinubu seeks National Assembly's approval for fresh 1.76 trillion naira borrowing to fund budget deficit. I don't know why from presidents to president, from presidents to president, since Nigeria got its second, should I say, democratic government in 1999, it's been borrowing. Last week, Saturday, we said each Nigerian now holds IMF 620,000 naira each. Each Nigerian one. If Kayode now, okay, should give birth to a boy now, that boy is owing 620,000 immediately. They'll just put the debt on him. So that's how much the country is owing. Individually, imagine. Now the federal government wants to borrow again. What would you like to say?
There is one thing Professor Lionel Robin said. He said economics is a social science which studies the behavior of human beings in relationship to ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. There is one thing I've discovered in this country. Loan-based economy. Nigeria has succeeded in becoming a loan-based economy, and I think it's not good for the progress and development of this country. As
far as the federal government is concerned, please, we have crude oil, so we can pay back. It's not like we don't pay back, we do, but then it's just like a single Nigerian now holds 620,000 naira to all the debts Nigeria has borrowed.
There is one economic theory that states that no economy can survive without borrowing. But I always raise objection to that. If a country decides to maximize its limited resources, if at all is going to borrow, it's going to borrow for capital project. Any loan that you apply for and that loan cannot be able to pay back itself, I see it as a bad loan.
I'll be very glad to mention two countries. Their names are not always around because these two countries are very quiet and they're doing things perfectly. I would like to see if this country borrows. I'm really going to pull up that fact right now. A country like Canada, a country like Australia, well, why are they going to borrow? Why? They have every resources, everything put together so that they would never, ever borrow. But if you notice, these two countries are also very quiet. You don't hear them in any situations. They are too quiet because they know how to run their things, right? So where did Nigeria get it wrong? So if Ofino becomes president tomorrow, you're going to borrow, obviously. Is that what you're saying?
No, there is one thing we must understand. Why should a generation borrow
Thank you.
and another generation has no choice than to suffer the consequence? The cost implication from creditor nation when it comes to issue of borrowing is so high. Nigeria does not enjoy what I call economic sovereignty.
That's the word I've been looking for. Economy sovereignty.
We don't have it. Do you know what? There is one thing we must do in this country. Let us try to adopt science and technology. Let us be honest to ourselves. Let Nigeria become a producer economy. If you borrow money for productive investment, such loan is morally justified because it can be able to pay back itself. But what we are seeing in this country is they borrow for looting. I stand to be corrected. Sometimes they also borrow for consumption. When you look at our budget presently, capital expenditure supposed to be higher than recurrent expenditure.
Yes.
Because when you're talking about recurrent expenditure, it is only those that are civil servants that we enjoy.
Exactly.
But when it comes to capital expenditure, you have to provide road,
yes,
healthcare services, skills, education, the rest,
yes.
for the benefit of each and every one of us.
Okay, now before we quickly go commercial, if you're listening to us anywhere and you're getting interested in the show already, there's a lot of topic we need to be discussing this morning. But remember, you're going to be picking your phone later on to call us and tell us which of the topics you would like to be part of. Now we've talked about Nigeria borrowing. Now the president is saying we have to borrow again. But then before we go commercial, let me quickly, let's congratulate the governor of Ondo State. It's not like we're against him. He went into the election. Why are you laughing? Let me finish. I know why you're laughing. He went to the election, right? He campaigned. The party endorsed him. He campaigned. People voted. We all saw it on the INEC website. Actually, for the first time in the history of INEC, we saw it. Everybody saw it. We were on it. No Joro. And then he won. He won convincingly. So why won't you want to say congratulations to Lucky Ayedatiwa?
No, there is one thing I have to say at this junction. Do you know why I smiled?
Why?
He won 18-0. It has never happened in the history of Nigeria.
Never happened because
18-0.
You know why I couldn't?
MPT scored 18 over 18. PDP scored 0 over 18. 0 over 18.
You know one thing that shocked me. For the first time, Nigerians didn't blame INEC. You can see everybody's quiet. Go on Twitter, go everywhere. INEC name is clean. Nobody. I am shocked that the chairman of INEC for the first time listened to Nigerians. Probably because he knew that, look, this guy will win. Because, there's a way you can do your underground check and you know that the people will vote for this guy. But then they were vote buying 10,000 naira, confirmed by journalists, renowned journalists that I know that are my friends, that they saw and they proved it. Yes, there was vote buying 10,000 naira for your vote. But now, we don't know which of the parties actually paid the 10,000. Is it the PDP or the APC? But honestly, I think I need to give it to INEC. This time around, I'm shocked I'm saying this. I wish I'm looking at the mirror like, look, are you the one talking? That INEC actually shocked me. It was on the website. Everybody saw it. Everybody all over the world were monitoring on the website of INEC.
Yes.
And they saw that this thing is real. It's true. So, are you ready to say congratulations now to the governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa?
I want to congratulate His Excellency. Governor Lucky
Orimisan.
I like that name, Orimisan. Ayedatiwa.
My father was a Damison.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, go ahead.
So I want to congratulate him. The people have actually spoken.
They spoke. Nigeria. No. People of
they have spoken.
Yes.
There is one thing I admire INEC for. The result sheet was being uploaded.
The same INEC you were insulting 2 weeks ago, that we cannot trust them.
Definitely, that was what I said.
Ofino, we're going to come back.
Assuming
let's
we
go
have
commercial.
not criticized them, probably they will not have done what is right.
You are right. I agree with you on that. If we hadn't criticized, probably the election would have gone the way it went. You're very right. Let's go commercial and then we'll come back.
On 103.5 FM.
Honorable Femi Julius Okedoyin, Chairman of your State House of Assembly Service Commission. I will be live at War with Honor, Season 2, by special grace of God, December 7th, 2024. Thank you.
Do you need a reliable and super fast unlimited internet for your business and home use? If yes, iWorld Networks is your solution with our uptime affordable internet via fixed broadband. No data caps and throttling. You can enjoy your distance learning, business meetings, and family time with our reliable internet. With 24/7 proactive customer support and 99.8% uptime. We also provide connectivity for offices, schools, financial services, hotels, government, etc. Chat with us on www.iwn.ng. iWorld Networks, we've got you covered. Sign up and get connected today.
Nigeria, something big is here. Are you scared of acquiring landed properties due to lack of trust and authenticity? Do you have to wait endlessly to get your red copy survey after every property purchase? Worry no more, because You Fit Homes is here to do things differently while providing solutions to housing challenges in Nigeria. With properties in Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Ilorin, and now Ibadan. You Fit Homes is here to make you a property owner. Get 50% launch discount off the actual price on our Ibadan property, located 10 minutes to the train station at Ido and 10 minutes to Monia train station. We won't just issue you a CFO. You also get a red copy survey right after you buy from us. Visit our head office at Block 8, Plot 15, 7 Up Road, Oluyole Main Estate, or call 0812-020-0803 for more enquiries. You Fit Homes, home for all.
Once you enter Ibadan to enjoy yourself and have a swell time in a swell place with sweet sensation, just go straight to Matchfort Courtyard Hotel and Suites. Matchfort Courtyard Hotel and Suites offers you A+ hospitality in a fantastic environment. Check out the rooms: Standard Deluxe, Super Deluxe, Executive Deluxe, Junior Suites, Executive Suites, Presidential Suites. Superb rooms like Royal Palace, constant air conditioning with sweet aroma and plasma TV all over the place. Executive VIP lounge and full bar. 24/7 power supply with relay of generator. Lovely swimming pools for young and old. Complimentary breakfast. Airport shuttle and car hire services. First class recreation facilities. Gym and spa. Nourish your body with local and intercontinental cuisine. Sunday buffet 11:30 to 4 p.m. every Sunday. Matchfort Courtyard Hotel and Suites welcomes you at number 2 Emi Adejumo Close off UCH Second Gate opposite Bottles Republic Lounge, Agodi GRA Ibadan, your state. Telephone 091-1001-6995 and 091-3552-4814. www.matchfortcourtyard.com.
On the 103.5 FM.
You're listening to Honor 103.5 FM. It's definitely the program you definitely would never want to miss again that you're listening to. And for you to have been listening to us all the time, we'll say thank you very much for being part of this show Wednesdays and Saturdays. This is the front burner. My name is Lekon Moshebi. I have one of my guests with my analyst, one of my analysts actually, with me in the studio. I just got a message from the other analyst that he will be in Ibadan pretty soon. So obviously I don't think he might be able to make the program. But then guess what? You're the second analyst on the show. We have discussed about the loan Mr. President seeks from the National Assembly for approval of 1.76 trillion naira. And of course we just discussed about the Ondo election. And for the first time in my entire life, I gave it to INEC. This time around, nobody is complaining about INEC. I'm so surprised. And I think this is one thing I've done that I will never forget. I said those words. So we've discussed INEC. We've discussed about the loan from Mr. President. Remember, you're one of our analysts. All you need to do is go to Facebook and watch us live. You can share, make your comments there. And of course, like. Or basically later on in the show, you will make a direct call to the studios and tell us what you feel about every topic we have discussed on the show this morning. There's a lot that happened when Mr. President was around before he decided to travel to Brazil. There's a man. His name is Mr. Daniel Bwala. Daniel Bwala is a special media advisor to the former president, Buhari, under the PDP. Mr. Daniel Bwala said a lot about the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He really said a lot about the APC, and he actually shattered the party and, of course, the presidential candidate at that time. Everybody is still trying to wonder what happened between Mr. Daniel Bwala and Buhari and the party PDP. Suddenly, in the month of January, Bwala, which happens to be the former special advisor to the former president, decided to change parties. He joined the APC, and he has been singing praises of Mr. President since January. Me myself, Lekon Moshebi, I'm a journalist. I'm a media personality. But I'm mostly trying to wrap it around my head how you can actually jump from one party to another. I've said so many things about this particular man, but suddenly I'm now saying these things about this particular man. Let me put it this way. There's a serious, huge media restructuring in the villa. Remember Ajuri? Ajuri decided to resign on his own. He resigned from being the special media advisor to Mr. President. Now, since January, Mr. President been trying to, for some months now, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been trying to find a replacement for Ajuri. But then he decided to bring in two people instead. Mr. Sunday Dare, we all know, formerly used to be in sports, Ministry of Sports, but then Mr. Sunday Dare Itato is now the special advisor on public communication and national orientation, is now the special advisor, media and public communications to Mr. President. But the shocking one to all Nigerians all over the world is Mr. Daniel Bwala announced last week has been announced as the special advisor, media and public communication. Wow. And of course, our policy communication. These appointments, along with the existing role of special advisor Bola Ononuga, we all know Bola Ononuga, Bayo Ononuga rather, is still there. All I want to ask our listeners right now, so that you can explain to us later, is can I, right now, insult as much as I want a particular person, and then the same me will be picked to do the job of praising him? I'm still confused how that works. Mr. Ofino, you have been, should I say you've been surrounded by a lot of media personalities. I know you're not a media person, but at least you've been surrounded. So how does this work? Because in my head, I'm confused.
This is what I'm going to say. The Holy Scripture says that godliness with contentment is a great gain. I remember Chief Lai Mohammed was one of the spokesperson for APC before they took over power in 2015. He was fortunately compensated as the Minister of Information and Culture under Buhari's regime for 8 years. And he was so good in propaganda. Very good. If I was having the opportunity to give him a Nobel laureate, I will give him a Nobel laureate.
I'm on story. I think Lai Mohammed
There is one thing Alhaji Lai Mohammed said that baffled my mind. Do you know what he said? He said one of his grandchild told him that, "Grandpa, why is it that they usually call you Liar Mohammed?"
Yes, yeah, I saw the article.
I'm telling you.
Yes, I saw it. I did.
His name is Lai Mohammed. But before Nigeria decided to give him that name, Liar Mohammed. because of his propaganda.
Well, he did his job.
He did his job
in protecting the party
100%.
and Mr. President at that time.
Yes, he did his job 100%. Now we are coming back to Daniel Buwala. Daniel Buwala happened to be the spokesperson for PDP, Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Though he was formerly in APC before he now decided to cross over to PDP.
But then when he left the APC, he said that the APC is not a relevant party.
He said a lot of things
about APC.
That shows that Daniel Buwala does not have a personal principle. He lacks what we call personal philosophy of life.
So you're saying you're saying it's like a chameleon.
I wouldn't use the word chameleon. This is one thing I want to say. He's a man that lacks conscience, character, and candor. He may have the charisma as a media giant. He has that charisma. But when you are talking about conscience, he lacks conscience. He lacks what I call character and candor. As a man, I'm just talking about somebody that lacks what we call personal principle and personal philosophy.
What baffles me is you are the spokesperson for PDP, but then, and of course, the vice president and the president at that time. Now, the president of the country and his party said, come and speak on behalf of Mr. President. Anything Mr. President does, body language, if he blinks his eye, whatever he's about to say, the things he has said, you are the man to let the world know what's coming from Mr. President. So how is it going to be easy for Buwala now, Daniel Buwala, to now run down the PDP that he's coming from? And the PDP has not done anything wrong to him.
There is one
they have never offended him.
I will take your mind back to what happened. I remembered in 2019, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo campaigned for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, if you remember. Before then, he has condemned Alhaji Abubakar. I'm talking about Chief Olusegun Obasanjo.
Yes, I remember.
He criticized Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. So when he came to 2019, he was now promoting Abubakar again. That is the best for the job.
Wow.
You see, when I look at men that lack conscience, it's not how well you have done. It's not the number of years. Even if you have spent 100 years as Nigerian president, we are talking about men of conscience, character, and goodwill.
I don't know how this is going to play out. He only resumed on Monday. He has resumed office on Monday. Let's get to see how this will play out, because I really don't understand. I think Mr. President just wants to understand the kind of person he is, like you said. Okay, now you have run me down the best way you can, but now I want you to work for me. Now, let me see how you're going to work for.
You know what the president is trying to use him? He's trying to mock him. Political satire.
Is that the same thing that happened to Bianca Ojukwu? Is Mr. President trying to mock Bianca as well?
No, it's not. Mr. President is not mocking Bianca.
But Mr. President knows that the East does not really like him.
No. If there is one thing we must understand, I'm going to give an example. In 2015, there was an election that was held. In Daura, Jonathan never scored 0 votes. Why? The PDP agent voted for Jonathan, even though he was from the Niger Delta. In Otuoke, in Bayelsa State, Buhari didn't score 0 votes in that polling unit. There was one person who is an Ijaw person who believed in Buhari, who also voted for Buhari, even though it is 1 vote. So when we are talking that the East does not lie like Tinubu, I disagree.
Okay.
I see it as what we call false populism.
Okay.
There is one thing. Tinubu may have not secured the majority vote in the East, yet he secured some votes.
Yes, he did.
Obi may not have secured the majority vote in the Southwest, yet he secured some votes. Atiku may not have secured majority of the vote in Southeast, yet he secured some vote. None of them scored 0 vote outside their stronghold. There is one thing we must understand. That is why when we say the winner take it all, I disagree with them. You have to compensate that single person who also voted for you outside your stronghold, even though you did not win in that region.
Yes.
The person must be compensated.
I agree.
The person must, that is where we are getting it wrong. That is why even in the governorship election, you see, they say this local government did not vote for the governor. So the governor will now say, I'm not going to provide roads for them. It's wrong. The governor did not score 0 vote in that local government. That singular person who voted for that governor, even though the vote was not enough, I think the governor should be magnanimous enough in also providing what we call physical infrastructure for the sake of that voter, that single voter.
I agree with you. All right, now you're listening to The Front Burner on Honor 103.5 FM. Remember, you have all the right to be part of this show. You are our second analyst. All you need to do is just comment on Facebook of what you think about any topic we're discussing. Or probably you just wait until we open the phone lines. And then once we call out the phone lines, you can call us and tell us your side of the story of everything we're discussing. Let me quickly go into another topic right now so that you'll get to know the ones that will interest you. Let's talk about something that shocked me. And I'm sure a lot of Nigerians would love to listen to this one and want to be part of it. The Inspector General of Police, the inspector, that's the #1 police officer in Nigeria, had come out shockingly yesterday morning to say this was. Now, the funny thing is, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has appealed to Nigerians, including Ofino and I, and you listening to us right now, that we should always lodge complaints about the unprofessional conduct of police officers to the Police Complaints Response Unit, rather than exposing them on social media. We should stop using our phones, stop making recordings, stop taking pictures, stop complaining to Nigerians about what the Nigerian police officers are doing wrongly. Instead, please, just walk into a police station and complain. That's what the IGP has told Nigerians. So if you're listening, that's what the IGP is begging us to do. Ofino, where do you stand?
When we talk about security, it's a highly classified profession. The security of a country should not be jeopardized. But here we are talking about police.
Ofino, let's put it the way it is. Because I did political science, security is #1.
Yes.
It's not. You can't give it any other name.
Yes.
Security is actually #1. So continue.
So
this is the #1 security officer right now. Police, at least as far as the police is concerned.
When you are talking about enforcement of law and order, internal security, the police is in charge.
Yes.
But it's just unfortunate that we have men and women of questionable character in the police force, Nigerian police force. It's a big problem. Those who lack conscience and character, they are the ones denting the image of the Nigerian police force.
That they are the ones in the police force itself.
Yes.
Wow.
Abusing that profession.
How did they get employed?
No, there is one thing you must know. There is what we call indulgence. Do you know people can pretend a lot?
A lot.
If you are not very close to someone, you can never know the person's character. It is when you have a business deal with one of your closest friends that you can be able to say, this my friend is honest or a dishonest person. Let us be frank and sincere to ourselves. Now, the issue of internet. You know, I said security is one of the highly classified professions.
Before you go into the answering of this topic with the IGP begging Nigerians not, or to begging Nigerians like Kayode now, that you should not report police issues on the Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. Kayode, you need to stop it. Go to a police station and report that police officer. That's what IGP is telling you. But then, would you say, Ofino, that the internet has really helped curb a lot of this unprofessional attitude and character of the police?
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. The internet have actually helped. Don't understand?
So why is the IGP on the other side?
Nigerians have lost credibility in the Nigerian police force because it is not the people's police. Let me give you an example. Look at every election that is being held in this country. Police force are being partisan. Sometimes they intimidate voters. It happened in this country. You don't kill a cop in America and go scot-free. Professionalism is required in the service of the Nigerian police force. But how professional are they? Let me give you an instance. Civil cases are supposed to be treated in the civil court. But do you know that sometimes you see some powerful people inviting the Nigerian soldier or the Nigerian police to come and harass you because you and your doorstep neighbor had a civil a quarrel at home within the neighborhood.
Okay, let's try and explain this to Nigerians. Let's use exactly the way you have put it. So you're having an issue with your neighbor, right? And then definitely the Nigerian police have to intervene and all that. But let's put it this way, and then one of your neighbors now decide to record that incident. Is that not a very good evidence to the Nigerian police? That video that your neighbor has recorded.
That video evidence is a video evidence. It's required in law.
Thank you very much.
100% required in law. If somebody alleges anything against your person without evidence in law, it will be thrown away.
So why is the IGP saying we should not do that anymore on social media?
Probably for national security and national interest.
Say that again in English.
Probably for national security and national interest.
At this
But I feel that he should talk to his men.
Thank you.
Let him address them to be professional. Most of them, do you know sometimes when I look at some police, it's just because the gun you are holding. If it was physical combat, some of these police force cannot fight an ordinary civilian. I'm telling you.
At this point, ladies and gentlemen, you can actually just be part of our this conversation since we started at 10 o'clock this morning. You're listening to Honor 103.5. It's the front burner. You can now be part of the show. We've discussed a lot of things, but then you can be part of the show now. Pick up your phone. It is 09151 035555. That's 09151 035555. And of course, you can also call us on 091 3500 1035. That's 091 3500 1035. You can call us on either of those two numbers. We're right here to pick up your calls. And of course, for you to actually definitely tell us your side of the story, would love to hear from you any of the topics we've discussed this morning. And of course, we just discussed about Mr. IGP, that's the Inspector General of Police, telling Nigerians that please don't report Nigerian police officers on social media. It's be better if you can just, report them directly to the police commission itself. Probably just walk into a police station and complain about them. That's the last one we discussed about. Now, we still have a lot to discuss more about. I would like to go straight now to a state in the East. Now, this is about a former governor. And I keep looking at this story and I keep telling myself, why do you do it and then you feel like when you leave the office nothing will happen? But then let's just quickly discuss this issue. Remember, if you're listening to us at home, you can actually call us and comment and be part of the show and tell us your side of the story, the way you see it yourself, or the one that touches you the most. This one we're about to discuss is about the ex-governor, Okowa. You remember him?
Former Delta State Governor.
Thank you very much.
Niger Delta,
Thank you
South.
very much. I know you're from there, so you can't forget him. Anyway, ex-governor Okowa had come out to say yesterday that because there's a lot of accusation on him, a lot. The EFCC has really squeezed him and really tied him up. Then he had no choice. Then he had to come out and say that he gave Atiku Abubakar campaign team 100 billion naira. 100 billion naira. And he also bought the vice presidential ticket for 8 billion naira. Okowa, the former governor of Delta State, also said he gave the party screening committee 3 billion naira. I mean, wait a minute. 8 billion plus 3 billion, that is 11 billion, Abi. Plus 100 billion, that's 111 billion, because I'm calculating, to clear current Governor Sheriff of Delta State and himself. He said that he was responsible as well for Atiku Abubakar's trip to the 36 states of Nigeria using Elumelu as his front man. Elumelu is the former CBN governor. You see how this country works? Okay, do you see how it works? You see how this country, we're talking about billions here. And K will sometimes say he has not eaten breakfast. Big girl will say I've not eaten dinner. Some people will say I don't have money for fuel. Now you say it works. Now, what really interests me is the fact that Atiku's son was the person. Atiku's son was the person picking up the funds in dollars from Delta State to Abuja. That's a former governor talking because the EFCC have decided to clamp down on him. But while he was doing all these things as governor, he's a big boy, governor, security, nothing can happen. I'm the guy in charge. All you need is just my signature. What would you like to say to Okowa's confession?
There is the peculiar school of thought that says that every human being have the tendency to steal, but why people refuse to steal is because of the consequence. I remember how Ifeanyi Okowa got that nomination from as governor. It was this woman that assisted him, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. But it's rather unfortunate. Why will you be spending public fund because you desire a personal thing? 1.3 trillion naira is a huge amount of money. It's not only the person involved. Most of our governors today, they have that corrupt tendency. That is why you see some of them going to court to challenge the establishment of EFCC and ICPC. That ICPC and EFCC should be scrapped. But I'm so delighted today, the Supreme Court
said no way.
Said no way.
No way.
Now look at Okowa. Senator Ifeanyi Okowa confessing like a baby.
It's a shame.
It's a show of shame.
It's a shame.
Confessing like a baby.
Anyway.
Look at it. I gave Atiku 100 billion naira. I gave this 11 billion naira. Confessing like a baby.
All right, there's somebody on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to have you on the show this morning. Thank you so much for calling us.
Ayo Baba Yemi from Akwata.
Your name again is?
Ayo Baba Yemi from Akwata.
Ayo Baba Yemi, thank you again for calling. We have discussed so many topics on the show this morning. Which one interests you the most?
Well, I just tuned in and I discovered I just talked about IG and that of Okowa.
Yes, thank you very much.
IG statement, I will come and say Isokuso. Now, I have seen videos, very many videos, where the policemen were captioned. And the IG himself stripped off those policemen of their duty because of the video sent to him or indirectly sent to him. He has seen that that video is empirical evidence. So I don't think he said it. Maybe somebody else said it, not him.
No, it's him.
Because if you go
It's
to
him.
police station to go and report any policeman, you will be in danger. In fact, you are not safe. How can I go to a police station and say, I want to report a policeman? Oh, your life is not safe. That's one. I think you are talking about Okowa.
Yes, madam.
Well, I want to challenge you. Where did you see the report? Is it social media or newspaper?
It was actually from the desk of the EFCC and, of course, his own Twitter handle as well.
Because I've not seen any newspaper report on it. I just saw it on the social media.
It is out. It is there.
If it is only social media, I don't believe it yet until newspaper carry it out. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, I will not comment on that now because it may be a propaganda.
No, it's
Good
not.
morning.
Good morning, madam. We really appreciate you again. But then I would have loved to say some things, but let me just allow you, do your thing for the day. You see, on the front burner, when we bring any topic on the front burner, trust me, we have been to the front, to the back, to the left, to the right, to the middle before we discuss it on this show. Now, there's something else I would have loved to discuss at this time, but I can see that I'm running out of time for commercial break. Let me do this commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be discussing more about Oyo State and Ibadan. Let's see what's going on here in Oyo State. We'll be back.
103.5 FM.
My name is Wasila Adifemi Adegoke, Commissioner for Youth and Sports. Work with Honor Season 2. I was there last year, and this year too, I'm promising the whole Oyo State that I will be there. I will work with Honor on 7th of December 2024. It's going to be fun and exciting.
The essence of interior design will always be about people and how they live. It is about the realities of what makes for an attractive, civilized, and meaningful home environment. This is our foremost concern at Mr. Johnson Furniture and Interior Decoration, and this is why we stay faithful to your own taste, because nothing you really like is ever out of style. Mr. Johnson Furniture and Interior Decoration, we specialize in importing and delivering quality royal beds, sofas, lights, and doors to every home across Nigeria. We are located inside Dogafort Filling Station in Leura Junction, Akala Express, Ibadan. Call us up on 080-913-35706 or send a WhatsApp message to 090-445-30230. We don't just sell quality products. Our maintenance team is on standby to give free routine maintenance for a whole year after purchase. Mr. Johnson Furniture, our passion is to bring affordable luxury to every home and offices.
On 103.5 FM.
Again, we say thank you so much for listening to Honor 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from Ibadan to wherever you are. Now, we're going to be discussing Oyo now. If you're interested, you can call us to tell us your side of the story. 09151035555 or 09135001035. The Oyo State Civil Service Commission has concluded arrangements for the computer-based test CBT as part of the ongoing recruitment process. The test is scheduled to hold from Monday 25th November to Thursday 28th November 2024. Applicants who successfully lodged into the job portal and submitted their applications in line with the Civil Service Commission advert of 7th October 2024 will receive their invite shortly, says the Oyo State government. You remember that we've discussed about the Oyo State government employing 3,000 teachers. We talked about that. We talked about when the Oyo State decided to employ a set of youths as well to do one or two things. We discussed about the Oyo State Ministry of Water Resources. We discussed it right here on this show. Now we're discussing another set of people to be employed. Where would you say Mr. Governor's priorities are? Would you think he's getting it right? Or do you think that probably he's just trying to do all this because he knows that he wants to do something?
There is one thing we must understand, that provision of employment happen to be one of the basic priorities of government.
So it's not like he's doing something to impress anybody.
Especially,
no, wait a minute. You're saying Mr. Government is not impressing anybody. He's something he needs to do.
Those are constitutional responsibility of any government. Provision of job, creation of job opportunities. So there is one thing I want to commend this government for its job policy, because we have some states in Nigeria today that it's been long that they have recruited people into their workforce. So if the executive governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, decide to recruit certain persons, he should be commended for that, though it is a constitutional responsibility. And I keep saying it, that the best is still yet to come. Now, the recruitment process matters a lot.
A lot.
Now, there will be what we call written interviews.
Of course.
Job applications.
Yep.
Oral interviews.
Definitely.
Now, because the space is limited, limited compared to the numbers of applicants, We are talking about 3,000 here now. But those who applied for the job, they may be over 100,000, and you need only 3,000. So the scrutiny, the job scrutiny is going, the scrutinization is going to be so high. So those who be fortunate, at the end of the day, we will be adjudged to be those who merit to be employed for the job.
All right, before we leave the studios, let our listeners also know that the Oyo State government will soon commission an 11 megawatts independent hybrid power project to enhance socio-economic development and security of the state. The Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning made this known to everyone that needs to know. But then, I mean, 11 megawatts, that's something. That 11 megawatts can actually take about, let's say 40, is it up to 40? Say about 30% of the city of Ibadan. What would you like to say to government on this one?
It is highly commendable, because I remember when
I can't believe you have been saying all this.
It's highly commendable because I remember. Because I remembered when the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu happened to be the executive governor of Lagos State, he brought that idea, independent power project for Lagos, but it was just unfortunate. It was granted by the former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. I don't know how the mutual conflict between Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, how they can be able to resolve their differences, because they came from the same ethnic group. Sometimes when I look at what happened between Chief Obafemi Awolowo and Chief Samuel Ladoke Akintola, the feud had become generational. I hope the feud between Obasanjo and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not become generational. Afenifere must step into it to reconcile these two individuals, because they are powerful individuals in Nigeria, and they are a source of pride to the Yoruba race. Because when Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu brought that idea, I thought that President Olusegun Obasanjo will give him that maximum support. Okay. But at the end of the day, he never. So when we see somebody like Engineer Seyi Makinde trying to float such type of idea to the good people of Oyo State, I think it is highly commendable.
All right, now, before we leave the studio, since you have mentioned the name of the governor of the state, Engineer Seyi Makinde, okay, fine. The Oyo State government sets up a staff audit committee for the Polytechnic Ibadan. Is that your school? Okay, didn't go to Polytechnic Ibadan. All right. Now, in its efforts to ensure an up-to-date record of the staff of the Polytechnic Ibadan, the Oyo State government set up a 12-man committee to carry out a comprehensive staff audit of the institution. The Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abdulwahid Saliu, while inaugurating the committee chaired by Dr. Bisi Ojebola, stated that the staff audit exercise is not meant to witch hunt any staff. What would you say to Mr. Governor on this one?
Again, I say it is highly commendable.
This is the third time you are using that word.
Do you know why? When a governor assumes the office to govern the people, the first thing you do is what? Verification exercise in the civil service. Because we have ghost workers in the civil service.
That was what the
commissioner. We have redundant staff.
That was what the Commissioner for Education
said. They are there.
He said they are not with chanting anybody.
We have people that came into the civil service using what we call fraudulent academic record. There should be checks and balances. That is the first thing you have to do. Verification exercise.
But do you think
to know the number of staff.
Do you think Mr. Governor knows that definitely there's something wrong as far as Polytechnic of Ibadan is concerned? Probably he feels that the money being paid into that school for salary basis only is more than what they have as staff.
Do you know why? People retire in Polytechnic on a daily basis because we didn't secure employment the same day. The same thing happened in the civil service. On a daily basis, people are retiring from the civil service because we didn't get employment on the same day.
But then remember, if Mr. Governor could have done fantastically well, if there's any word like that, to Lautech, I think Ibadan Poly will be just a piece of cake for him. He did well as far as Lautech is concerned.
But there's something fishing for the governor to have directed that there should be staff audits in Polytechnic Ibadan. There is something fishing.
He knows. That
His
means
finger
Mr. Governor
is on the wall.
knows. He knows, and he
something
wants to
fishy.
get to the bottom of it.
There is something fishy.
That's the show for this morning. I want to say a very big thank you to Mr. Ofino for being my guest, my analyst this morning, the only analyst I got this morning.
Thank you.
My other analyst is on his way from Lagos. I hope he's in Ibadan now. And I want to say a big thank you to our caller on the show. A big shout out going out to my very good friend in the media cubicle, making sure that you get to see us on social media, clear and crispy. Engineer K, a big shout out going out to you. You're the one in charge of audio on radio. My name is Lekon Omoshebi. We say thank you very much for being part of the front burner this morning. A fresh edition will be coming your way on Saturday, this Saturday at exactly 9 o'clock in the morning. Have a fantastic Wednesday ahead. Bye for now.